Hi folks, I'm Nate with Two Guys Ride. Today I'm at the Twin Cities Auto Show, and I'm here with Jeff. Jeff, thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thanks for talking to us.
Well, we are at the Overland exhibition, which is new this year at the Auto Show, and Jeff was kind enough to take some time to go through his setup on his Overland vehicle. So, to start with, Jeff, when did you get into overlanding?
In about 21, we met up with a group, and all we had were just bins, a tent, and a stove, and we went out with them, and we learned that we loved it, and we wanted to keep doing it.
All right, so then you started equipping your vehicles.
Yes.
Because you have two vehicles. This is one. You have one for you, one for your wife.
Yes.
In case the whole family comes along, and then you've got enough room for everyone.
And in case my wife decides she's going to go camping, or if I want to go camping, and we could just throw this whole setup on mine or hers, and it's interchangeable.
Where's it go? Now, one interesting thing to note that I didn't realize is that you actually strip this down to a regular vehicle.
Yes.
When you're not overlanding. So how long does that take you to do?
Less than an hour, because we have a hoist that pulls the whole rack up to the ceiling.
Okay.
So rooftop tent, the rack, the awnings, everything just goes right up.
Right up.
One movement. This, we have a dolly that we just push it straight onto.
Okay.
And then we're a stock vehicle again.
That's incredible. I never realized people strip these down. I also thought, what do you do with that vehicle when it's all so loaded? But okay, now let's go through some of these things, because
Sure.
you have pieced this together piece by piece. Let's just start in the back here.
Okay. Well, this is our second version of our kitchen galley.
Okay.
The first one I built like out of 3/4 inch MDF, and it was just way too heavy. And my wife and I were getting older, and we're like, how are we going to move this back and forth by ourselves? So that's when I rebuilt it, made it out of a 1/2 inch square tubing for the frame, and then I just built the drawers, got all the cabinets put in together, and
okay. And so then, and this is an interesting little feature here. This is you put on after driving with it without this on.
Yes, we realized the drawer would pop out on some of the bumps every now and then, so we just figured this is our way to just adapt and make it work.
But isn't that sort of the motto of overlanding? You're always adapting. You're always figuring out something a little different to do.
We're always trying to figure out how to do this, because things happen. We have different circumstances. Like we also do recoveries for all the rally races in Minnesota. So we're on bouncy trails and stuff like that, and things just move and crack, and so we adapt.
What I like is that you've done it yourself.
Yes.
You haven't, I mean, besides like the tent and stuff, and so you've gone out and you've built as much as you can. So you've got what I assume is a cutting board.
Cutting board, yep.
Okay, and then the drawer goes underneath this, and then underneath that, you've got a stove.
Correct. Yeah, it's just an RV stove that we got, and we figured, why have something else just loose? Let's get a stove that's built in, and then we could just keep moving around.
What I like is you got all that in one area that you can collapse together and push it in the drawer and close the door.
It just slides in, goes right away, and we're nice and clear.
Now, you hook that to a small gas bottle, okay, and then you've added some electronic controls down here. Tell us about these.
So we have a second battery in here. So it's basically our house battery. We charge it with a DC charger or solar, and we also have solar power. So when the car's running, it'll charge off the alternator. When we're stopped and we have good sun sometimes, and we're sitting for a while, we'll throw on the solar panels and let it go charge. So
how long can you go? I mean, you're powering a fridge.
Yes.
Which you pretty much have to power almost all the time when you're camping, right?
Yes.
So how long can you last on a typical camping trip?
It'll go about a day and a half.
Okay.
But when we're overlanding, we're not just stopped, or we're not stopped in one place for a whole time, unless we're doing like a family trip.
Right. So you're moving, I mean, pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Right. And so then it has a chance to recharge.
Correct.
So pretty much limitless.
Yes.
In a sense, right?
In a sense.
Which is amazing off of one battery.
Yes.
Because you got one for the starter battery, and then you've got one that kind of powers everything.
Yes.
But that's just nuts. I never would have guessed. I would have guessed you had a big battery assembly, but that is interesting to know.
Not for what we do. And like I said, if we're stopped for more than a day, we'll just throw on the solar panels and we're good to go.
Okay. Of course, you've got extra gas, jerry can for gas. And then is this something you built in?
No. Well, it's just a table I got off Amazon. So when we don't have this pulled out, we'll make our sandwiches right there. So
Okay,
we're nice
so
and quick.
you still have a platform to do it.
Yes.
Now you also have, we should just mention, you have a griddle that you can put on top of this.
Yep.
So if you're doing eggs, pancakes, that kind of stuff,
So
you
it's
just
like
throw it right on.
like a little blacktop, and then if we're doing steaks, we have a griddle there for the steaks.
That is nice. I mean, what an awesome job. Now I notice you have a water hose. So tell us about your water supply and how it works.
So on the other side, we have an 11-gallon tank,
Okay.
and I have a water pump that we switch on with the switch there. So we have pressurized water.
Okay.
So
Which means, and you can actually said earlier we were talking, you can take that out of the vehicle, the pump,
yep.
and put it in a bucket. So if you're at a lake or someplace, a stream,
So we have a bucket that when we're at a lake or something, we'll just grab a bucket of water, boil a little bit of water here, throw that in there too. So then we take hot showers. We just take the hose right off the water tank and
Yep.
put it right into the bucket, and then we're taking a
and
shower.
it pumps it right out, and you can hook it up to the shower. And
Exactly.
man, that is really nice. All right, let's step. Actually, I think maybe we're going to step outside. All right, so tell me about this awning. I love. Is this goes all the way? It's like 3/4 away.
It's a 270 awning. We got it because you need some livable space when it's hot and steady and you just want to get out of the sun. This gives you an extra livable space here. Plus, in the wintertime, if you want to have a space that's covered and you just want to heat that, we have walls that go around that keep us nice and toasty once we have the heater going.
Man, that is awesome. Now, was this your first setup? Your first tent? Or is this awning? Is this your...
This is our first awning. Well,
Okay.
second awning. We
Okay.
had one that was just a 6-foot that went straight back, which is fine. It covered where we were cooking and we're good if we needed to, but this definitely gives us more livable space.
I guess constantly looking for little ways to improve it, right?
Exactly.
All right. Now, back here, this is your changing room, shower, bathroom.
Yep. And
Okay.
originally it didn't have a roof. So before we got the awning, when you're going to the bathroom or something, so that shower tent on that
Yep.
rig is the same one as this.
Okay.
Actually, all three, they have the same one as well. But when you want to go to the bathroom and it starts raining, you're getting wet. So I built this cover roof and rolls right into the whole thing. And
So
we're all set.
again, you built that. You're a
Yes.
man of many talents, Jeff.
Thank you.
So down here is this your freshwater supply?
That's my freshwater supply. That's 11 gallons and
Okay.
and our water pump right there.
And again, if you're by a lake with good water or a stream, you can refill that from there.
Yes. Yep. And I have a water filter also
Okay, that was my second question.
that is attached to it. But like that bucket I was telling you, we just disconnect this, drop it right into the bucket. It doesn't go right to the bottom because you get sediment out of the lake. So this keeps it right above it, and we're all
Wow,
set.
you got that just the exact length. And now you've got some storage right above you as well.
Yep. This is what we use as our dresser.
Okay.
So it bites when you're trying to dig everything out of a backpack or a duffel bag. This we're able to just keep everything right here.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the tent that you have on top.
Yes, it's the iCamper 2X.
Okay.
So we went through a lot of research because one of the things I wanted to do was keep our gear inside of it when we
Okay.
close it. And so many tents, you got to pull it out and then it clutters the inside of your rig. And
Like your mattresses and your pillows and your blankets and anything
Yes.
else you want. Okay.
so this one, I'm able to keep my 0 degrees double sleeping bag. So it's
Okay.
just one sleeping bag for my wife and I, and our pillows, and we're able to close it.
Which is so nice because
That is the biggest thing ever.
you take up a lot of room over landing with the back of your vehicle, and there isn't a
Yeah.
lot of extra space typically.
Space is valuable in your rig here, especially one this small.
So, how long does it take to set up the tent?
Less than about a minute.
About a minute. That's
Yeah,
it.
there's just one bar that goes right in the center, and then there are 2 spring bars.
Okay, and then to close it up. About
Close
as
it
long?
up about 5 minutes. 'Cause
Okay.
you gotta kind of go back
Fold
and forth
things.
and make sure everything's tucked in.
But still, that's just not much time. And then when you open it up, it's ready to sleep in.
Yes. Yep.
So you don't have to worry about that. You can enjoy the rest of your camping experience.
Exactly.
Okay, now you've got some modifications on the vehicle itself.
Yes.
So let's talk about the suspension that you modify.
So we have Old Man Emu springs in the back. It's got a higher spring rate. We also have airlift airbags in the back to just kind of stiffen it up just even a little bit more.
Okay.
We've got the Bilstein shocks with the reservoirs, so when we're doing the washboarding trails, it helps keep
A little better.
keep it cooler.
I'm not sure washboard's ever good.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's better.
but it's better.
But it's better, yes.
And then we have the iron rock springs in the front. We sit about unloaded. We're about between 3.5, 4 inches, and 4.5 in the front rear.
Okay. I should say, because we never mentioned this, but this is a Wrangler Unlimited.
Yes.
Rubicon Edition.
Yep.
And what year is it?
It's a 2017.
It's a 2017. Okay. Now, you've got a few modifications in the cab.
Yes.
The front. So let's talk about those for a minute. Okay, so obviously you've got to have, some sort of communication and some sort of navigation.
Yes.
So what do we have up here in the middle?
So in the middle right here, we have a Midland radio, GMRS, and we also have a tablet that we use for navigation. So
Okay.
we typically use Onyx for off-roading and Gaia for overland.
Okay, and why the two different ones for the two different things?
Well, I feel the Onyx is really good for off-roading, for going off-roading on parks and
Okay.
trails, that type of deal. But the Gaia when we first started doing it, Gaia was really good with overland,
Okay.
mapping out our trails that we're going to do and all that type of stuff. But now they're kind of getting a little more even, but all our maps are still on Gaia. So
Right, but as you start, it's like anything else. You start with what works, right?
Yes.
What works best for you, and it's like, well, it's expensive to keep it and maintain it, but
Exactly.
so you don't want to upgrade necessarily when the first thing comes out. So, okay, now you also have a different radio in here.
We do. We also have a ham radio that's mounted down below.
Okay.
Once my wife gets her ham radio license, then we'll switch over the radio to that one. We have a Yaesu FTM 400
Okay.
for her.
And that just for folks that don't know the difference between the GMRS and the ham radio. The ham radios travel further.
It travels further. It's a 50-watt radio. It also has so many more channels that we can talk
Okay.
on.
So and we were talking the other day, there was an instance where somebody got stuck. Tell us about that.
So we were in Moab, and one of our buddies, he crossed a river, and the rest of us didn't want to cross the river. So we were just going to meet him on the other side. Well, when he got to the other side of the island and he was crossing the river, he got stuck. And he was calling the rest of the crew, and none of them could hear us or hear him, except for me. I could hear him, and I could talk back and forth to him like it was crystal clear.
Because it was you got them on ham radio.
Yes. Yep.
So it's group security, right? Just being able to communicate over distances. Okay. You also have part of your electronics underneath your seat.
I do. There's a plate that holds the DC to DC charger and my ham radio.
Okay.
It just sits there nice and mounted. So it's above the ground. So if we do get some water in there, we got about an inch and a half to go before we're in trouble.
That's always a good thing, isn't it?
It is.
Just a couple more questions, Jeff. One is, what's one of your favorite memories with overlanding?
It is probably going to be Ozarks. That was like a 5 days of trails nonstop and just gorgeous views. We had there's some off-roading that's mixed into the mix there, and it's just a great overall experience. Yeah,
this is awesome. And my last question is: do you have any planned improvements, or is just always a constant process of evolving?
It's always a constant process of evolving. In fact, this whole setup on the top is going to be changed out to a Ruby grid, so that way I could put more stuff on there and make it look a little cleaner and more sturdy.
All right. Tell us a little bit about Minnesota's Four-Wheel Drive Association.
So Minnesota Four-Wheel Drive Association is we're about community, responsible wheeling, and protecting access to all our trails.
Okay.
So we work with land managers, local agencies, and to make sure trails are maintained, and also creating more trails.
Okay.
We're also big on education, making sure the community and all our members know how to wheel responsibly, so that way the trails are here for our future generations.
Right, exactly. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for taking your time with us today, sharing your awesome overland vehicle. We sure appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, absolutely. And thanks for watching.